Hey everyone, you know all this buzz around AI chatbots lately? I mean, it's wild, right? They're doing it all these days, writing poems, emails, some are even doing research, like total pros. But, for all the excitement, there's this kind of shadow hanging over it all the data these things are hoovering up.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're going to be looking into today with DeepSeek.
Yeah, DeepSeek, a Chinese AI chatbot that was really making a splash everywhere.
It was.
Really looked like it was going to be the next big thing. But their journey hit a pretty big snag over in South Korea, and it's raising some serious concerns about how they've been handling, user data.
It's like a crazy plot twist in some kind of tech thriller.
Right.
South Korea's Personal Information Protection Commission, PIPC, they stepped in. They're like the watchdogs, right? Guardians of all that data privacy stuff. And what they found is pretty worrying.
Yeah, for sure. The PIPC confirmed that DeepSeek was sending user data to ByteDance.
ByteDance.
Yeah, the company behind TikTok. Now, sharing data, not always a bad thing, right? But DeepSeek, they kind of did it without, properly letting users know or getting their consent, which is,
Not good.
Not good. Big no-no.
So not just a shadow, more like full-on data breach alarm bells.
Yeah.
So what does South Korea law actually, say about this kind of data transfer?
So South Korea, they take data privacy really seriously. They have this thing called the Personal Information Protection Act.
Okay.
And it's a pretty, tough law, sets some strict rules about sending data overseas. Imagine a key part of this act, it requires companies to get, direct consent from users before they send their data out of the country. And it seems like DeepSeek, well,
They missed that part.
they may have overlooked that, yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty big misstep, especially for a company dealing with this kind of sensitive information. Do we know, what kind of data was shared about the users?
Unfortunately, the specifics are still a bit of a mystery. The PIPC, they're investigating, trying to figure out exactly what kind of data was sent and how much. And it's that not knowing.
The unknown.
Yeah, it's what's really fueling anxieties.
Yeah, of course. It's kind of unnerving, right, to think your information is just, out there. You have no idea.
Right.
So has DeepSeek responded to all this? Have they tried to, address what happened at all?
They have. They've admitted that they didn't fully grasp all the ins and outs of South Korean law, so they've temporarily stopped new downloads in the country.
Okay.
But the thing is, existing users, they can still use the app.
Oh, interesting. So they're trying to control the damage, but they haven't totally shut things down. What's the PIPC doing about all this, with those existing users still at risk?
Oh, they're not letting up. They're really carefully looking at all of DeepSeek's practices, and they're actually pushing for changes to that Personal Information Protection Act to toughen up the rules around foreign AI companies, the ones operating in South Korea.
They're taking it seriously.
Very seriously, yeah.
So it sounds like they're taking some real concrete steps to deal with the, immediate situation. But this whole DeepSeek thing, it feels like it's brought up all these anxieties about AI and data privacy that go way beyond South Korea.
Absolutely. It really has. This incident, it's a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Highlighting concerns that everyone's feeling, globally. It makes us ask a really important question. How do we balance the incredible potential of AI with that fundamental right to privacy?
Yeah.
It's a question that's got some really big implications.
For all of us.
Yeah.
We're all so drawn to how easy and personalized it all is, what AI can do. But then something like this happens, and it's like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
What's the real cost here?
Exactly. Feels like we've stepped into this whole new world.
Right.
Where our lives are so tied up with AI, but the rules, they're still being written as we go.
Yeah, it's like the Wild West out there. And while the lawmakers and tech giants are, trying to figure it all out, what about us?
Right.
The everyday users.
Yeah. What
should we be learning from all this DeepSeek mess?
It's a real reminder to be careful.
Okay.
What we're actually agreeing to when we use, all those AI apps and services. Those terms and conditions, man.
Ugh, don't remind me.
I know they're long and boring, but they're actually important. They tell you what kind of data they collect, how they use it, if they share it.
So it's worth taking the time to actually read them.
It really is. It can help you make better choices, informed ones.
Knowledge is power.
Exactly.
Even if it means reading legal mumbo-jumbo. But what about, situations like DeepSeek, where they didn't tell anyone about the data sharing? How do we protect ourselves when companies aren't being transparent?
There's no perfect protection against every, breach of trust.
Right.
But just being aware of the risks, that's a big step. It helps you be more proactive. do your research before you jump into some new app.
So it's like being a data detective.
Haha, kind of.
You got to investigate the companies behind the apps we're using. But how do we even know if they're being honest about their data practices? There's a lot of trust involved, and it feels a little shaky, in this whole ever-changing landscape.
It's a valid concern. We're definitely in a time where we rely on AI more and more.
Yeah.
But the rules and the oversight, they haven't quite caught up yet.
Right.
Cases like DeepSeek, they show just how badly we need some solid frameworks.
To make sure, ethical AI development happens.
Yeah, responsible and ethical.
It sounds like South Korea is really stepping up with their investigation and those legal changes they're talking about. Are other countries doing the same kind of thing? Is this like a global conversation about AI and data privacy?
It really is. South Korea being so proactive, it's definitely caught everyone's attention. There's this thing called the Global Privacy Assembly happening in Seoul soon, and that shows just how much awareness is growing worldwide. It's all about data protection, and I think they'll be talking a lot about DeepSeek there.
Yeah.
And what it means for, working together internationally on all this.
So DeepSeek, as messed up as it is, might actually lead to some good changes.
I think so. It's a turning point. It's forcing us to have these important conversations. And it could lead to, tougher regulations, more transparency from the whole AI industry.
That's good to hear. But this brings up another point, right? Beyond all the laws and regulations, there's the users.
Yeah.
Do people actually understand what all this data collection means?
Yeah.
And how it might be used?
You've hit the nail on the head. User awareness is so important.
It is.
We got to help people understand what data they're sharing and what could happen. It's not about being afraid of AI. It's about, using it in a smart way, responsibly.
So how do we, fix this knowledge gap? How do we make data privacy something that everyone gets?
It's going to take a lot of things.
Okay.
Education is huge. We need to teach people about data from a young age.
Yeah, in school.
Yeah, in school. Teach them about the value of their data and how to protect it.
Get them ready for this crazy digital world.
Exactly.
What about the rest of us and the ones who aren't in school anymore? Where can we go to learn more about all this?
There are tons of organizations out there fighting for data privacy, and they have a bunch of resources for everyone. Websites like the Electronic Frontier Foundation or the ACLU, they're great places to start.
Good to know. But with AI just becoming more and more a part of life,
right,
is data collection just going to be unavoidable? Is there any hope for keeping our privacy in this tech whirlwind?
It's a question that's on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
And it sparks a lot of debate. But the good news is, alongside all those worries, there's a ton of new stuff happening too.
Oh, like what?
People are working on ways to, preserve privacy even as AI grows.
Wow, that's encouraging. Tell me more about that. How are they trying to tackle this whole thing?
One really exciting area is something called privacy-preserving AI.
Okay.
Researchers are figuring out ways to, let AI systems learn from data without actually needing to see the raw data itself.
So we can have our cake and eat it too? Get the benefits of AI without giving up all our privacy?
Exactly.
Are they actually using this stuff anywhere?
It's still pretty new.
Okay.
But the progress they're making is amazing, like differential privacy.
What's that?
It's this technique where they add noise to data sets. So AI algorithms can still find insights without compromising anyone's privacy.
That sounds super complicated.
It is complex.
Yeah.
But the ideal is actually simple. It's about getting useful information from the data without revealing anything specific about the people in that data set.
So making the data anonymous, but still useful?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. But technology alone can't fix everything, right?
You're absolutely right. Technology is a big part of it.
Yeah.
But we also need to change how we think about data. We got to start seeing it as something valuable, something to protect, not just, something companies can use however they want.
So it's about taking back control of our own data.
Yes, and demanding more from those companies, that they're responsible for how they use it.
So it's a combo, better tech and a change in our whole mindset. So what can our listeners actually do right now to protect their data? It all feels a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
Don't panic. Start small.
Okay.
Check the privacy settings on the apps you use all the time. A lot of them have ways to, limit what they collect or control how they share your info.
So just be more aware of what we're sharing.
Exactly. Make those choices yourself. But let's be real. Sometimes it's easier to just, use the app.
Oh, for sure.
Without reading all the fine print.
Yeah.
But even just thinking about the risks is a good start. Ask yourself, do I really need this app? What are they collecting? Is it worth it?
Good questions. So it's all about being mindful
of
our digital footprint, making choices.
Yep.
and standing up for our privacy.
Exactly. And remember, you're not in this alone. There are people and groups out there who can help you figure it all out.
This whole DeepSeek thing has really shown how important it is to be aware and to, be proactive. Data privacy isn't just some abstract idea.
Right.
It affects all of us in real ways.
Absolutely. And this conversation, it goes way beyond DeepSeek. It's about the whole future of AI, how it comes into society. As AI becomes more and more a part of our lives, these questions about privacy, ethics, control, they're just going to get bigger.
It feels like we're on the edge of something huge.
We are.
Full of potential, but also a lot of unknowns. And we have the power to decide what happens next.
We do.
To make sure AI develops the right way.
Ethically.
And respects everyone's privacy.
As individuals, as a society, we need to decide what's okay, what are we willing to, trade off. It's a conversation we need to have carefully, openly, and find solutions that work for everyone.
So we've talked about, how to protect ourselves in this whole new AI world, but let's be real. AI is pretty luring.
Oh, yeah.
These apps, these services, they're convenient. They give you these personalized experiences. You almost feel a connection with them.
It's true. We all like how efficient and customized AI can make things, whether it's an app that knows what you want to buy before you do, or a chat bot that remembers all your little quirks. It's all getting so tied up with our everyday life.
But that convenience often comes at a price, right? Our data. It's like we're making this silent deal.
Right.
We hand over little pieces of ourselves to get those enhanced experiences. Do you think people really get that? Are they aware of the trade-off?
That's the big question, isn't it? People might love all the cool things AI can do, but I'm not so sure they fully grasp what it means to share all that data.
It's all happening behind the scenes, right?
Exactly. The collection, the analysis, maybe even sharing it with others, it's all out of sight. And for a lot of people, probably out of mind too.
So while we're busy being amazed by what AI can do, maybe we should also be asking, what are we giving up for all this? Is it even a fair exchange, all this data for a little bit of convenience?
That's something everyone needs to think about for themselves.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong answer. Some folks, they might be fine with sharing their data if it means they get personalized recommendations or whatever makes things easier. But others, they're going to be more cautious. Privacy is going to be more important to them.
It's about finding that balance, right? Where the benefits are worth the risks.
Exactly.
But how do we even do that when the lines are constantly moving? Every day there's some new AI thing coming out.
The key is to stay informed.
Okay.
And to make choices, deliberate ones. Don't just jump into every new AI thing that pops up. Ask some questions. Read those privacy policies. See how they're using your data. It's about taking control, in a world where data is this precious commodity.
So it's kind of like being a smart shopper.
Yeah.
But for data, not just stuff. You wouldn't buy a car without knowing what it can do. Right? How safe it is. And we shouldn't treat our data any differently.
Exactly. We got to move past this idea that we're just, subjects of data. We need to be in charge of it.
Data stewards.
Yes. We need to know our rights, set boundaries, and demand more transparency. We should have control over our own data.
This DeepSeek mess has definitely shown how important all that is. It reminds us that data privacy, it's not just some abstract concept.
Nope.
It has real consequences for all of us.
It really does. And this conversation, it goes way beyond just DeepSeek. It's about AI as a whole and its place in our world. As it becomes more and more a part of everything we do, those questions about privacy, ethics, control, they're only going to get more important.
It's almost like we're standing at the beginning of a whole new era.
We are.
So much potential, but also a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And we actually get to decide how it unfolds.
We do.
To make sure AI is developed the right way, ethically, with respect for everyone's privacy.
It's up to us as individuals, as a society. What are we willing to accept? What are the trade-offs we're okay with? It's a conversation we need to have, thoughtfully, honestly, and find ways forward that benefit everyone.
This whole deep dive into DeepSeek has really shown just how complicated all this is, this intersection of technology, individual rights, and what we value as a society. We've looked at the immediate concerns, the bigger picture, and most importantly, what we can all do to navigate this new world, responsibly, consciously.
The choices we make today, they're going to shape the future of AI. If we stay aware, if we have these conversations, if we stand up for our rights, we can help make sure AI develops in a way that respects our privacy and our values.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into, a topic that's both exciting and a little bit scary. Hopefully, you're leaving with a better sense of what's at stake and feeling empowered to help shape the future of AI in a way that works for all of us. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep the conversation going. We'll see you next time.